job.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you, guys.
Light. That's great.
Give them some things around the world. Maybe we'll stand there. We get off now.
Bryon Ehrhart, B-R-Y-O-N, E-H-R-H-A-R-T.
Everybody's audio good? Audio
Yes.
good? Okay, so just tell me in a nutshell, what epic thing have you just done?
Well, we just got the barn door for the first time after doing this race 4 times, doing the Transpac 4 times, so we're happy to have finished this time. So the epic thing for me was coming back 4 years after losing our rudder 30 miles off the finish. So meeting that challenge to come back and do it right.
So give us just a little, in a nutshell, like tell us a little bit about, state the name of your boat and just tell us like a little bit about this machine.
Yeah, Lucky is a Juan K 27-meter boat, 88 feet. It's a boat that was built for offshore racing, and that's what our program really has done with this. Inshore we're in small boats, but offshore we're in whatever we can find that can complete the mission. And this mission is difficult, so we've been across the Atlantic a couple times. We did the transatlantic in January, Trans-Pacific here in July. We're having a year of things that are tough for the crew and tough for the boat, tough for the technology, and we're testing it all.
Well, congratulations. Can you share with us, I would say, the best moments of your Transpac race? Like, what are some of the best memories you're going to walk away with?
Well, I think the crew's work to get us here is the biggest thing. A lot of that happens before the race to get ready. We had some new sails aboard, a lot of new technology to develop those sails. North Sails did a great job working with our team, making the struts work on the aft side so that we had an extra advantage, we think, than we had in prior years doing this race. So it all worked out there. And then, of course, onboard performances. Of course, it's the camaraderie with the team. It's the leadership of the senior leaders on the team, Brad Butterworth, Dean Phipps, right? So Yaka, these guys put in to make sure that we were ready for the mission. And then the mission's execution by everybody was flawless. So we really had no screw-ups and no breakage, which is hard to say over a 2,300-mile race.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, can you describe for us a little bit about your finish? And that was like an absolutely epic run down the Molokai Channel, and we do appreciate the time.
Yeah. We're happy to finish in daylight. We initially thought we would be finishing in the night, and we love the chance to actually get a look at, I lived here in 1994, so I have great feelings for Hawaii. Fun to see Diamond Head. To come around is fantastic, so yeah. And the finish was, downwind and fast. I don't think I've ever finished a race going 24 knots, and so I had a chance to really see the power of the boat shine through the finish line, which was great. But you're doing this after you've prepared for 3.5 days of similar conditions, a little bit less chop because in the channel, Molokai Channel is famous. There's a reason it's at the end of the race. It's your last challenge, and you better meet it.
So now it wasn't all 24 knots, we know. You had some really, looks like you had some light winds, maybe something challenging. On Tuesday maybe it was challenging. Was that difficult, or what was the trickiest part of that?
Yeah, light air is a challenge in most races. We really haven't had too much light air in Transpac in prior years, but some. And many of us are small boat sailors, so we know the light air tricks to keep going as fast as we can. Just staying high on apparent wind and trying to keep the boat moving at all times, even in sometimes it looked like on the track, I'm sure, the wrong direction. But just getting out of jail is important in light air, and then we did. That was about 30 hours of a little bit of pain, but the gain we got out of that pain was really nice because we were on the right side of the course. We were able to connect into the next breeze. We think we got, with Stan Honey, who's our navigator, did a great job of making sure everybody was going to get it. We just wanted to get the least of it, and I think Stan did a good job of giving us 30 hours instead of 40 hours. So,
would you say that was like one of your more critical decisions or for setting you up for the barn door, or what was at stake, really?
Yeah, I think that Stan, he's so analytical. He puts everything together, gives us choices as owners and navigators and sailors. So we knew the choices. We knew there was going to be some pain. There are hardly any races where you go in where there isn't some kind of a shift that isn't in your favor. You have to fight through it in order to prevail, and we did that.
So coming into Transpac, what was your bigger goal? Was your goal winning the barn door, doing well on corrected time? I mean, how did you guys, what was your goal and how did you motivate yourself and the crew?
Well, our goal for this race maybe could have been only me on the crew, but it was to finish. We did the race well, 4 years ago in 2021 and got 30 miles, got close to finish by 30 miles. Had to get towed in by the Coast Guard because our rudder broke. Also a well-prepared yacht. Sometimes things just don't work out, but that was actually 7 days of glorious sailing, and then that occurred. This was 5.5 days of glorious sailing, and we got to finish. So it was great. So that was my mission. The team's mission was to, invest in the skill, the technology to actually have a chance at breaking the record. We didn't, but we didn't leave it without a really good effort, and that light spot was probably the difference. But this is racing, so we managed to get the record in the Transatlantic in January. We'd love to have had this one. We'll keep chasing them.
I have to say, it's probably good you didn't tell your crew that all you wanted to do was finish, because they might have, eased off a little.
No, they all know the story. In fact, that's part of the commitment, was making sure we were fully, not just wicked, but fully prepared in terms of sailing a conservative way, making sure the gear was properly prepared, because these are, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And with no breakage getting here, it shows the will and determination of that crew to make sure that we finished. So easy to not finish, unfortunately. But you've got to put in, and they did. So great crew work. Yeah.
Excellent. So is there anything else you want to share with me? And I think that some of these other folks might have questions as well, but anything else you want to share with me about your 2025 Transpac experience?
Well, I love coming here. This is the fourth time I've done this race. Thanks to the race committee. This is a classic. I wish there were hundreds of boats like there are sometimes in the Atlantic races. They don't know what they're missing. The club puts on a great race. Everything from Long Beach to Honolulu is fantastic. You don't get lays anywhere else in the world for finishing a race, and the people are so nice here. And I have a feeling of aloha for Hawaii since I lived here in '94 and had some really good success with locals that had suffered Hurricane Iniki, and we helped form a solution. So we're happy to come back here always and feel good about being here.
Thank you.
I have one question, and you can pretend that Betsy asked it, so look at her when
Okay.
I'll move
answering.
my mouth.
Yeah.
Just broadly, could you just talk about the beauty that you experience while racing, and more specifically here when you're showing up Hawaii? What's that like? Paint that picture.
Well, the beauty that you see on the ocean, I mean, it's perpetual. I mean, you just get out there and you realize this is a water desert that's as beautiful as any other desert that you see. It has wildlife, has everything that really makes the earth, a great place to live. This year was really interesting with the cool sea surface temperatures, much cooler than I remember in the prior 3 races that I did. So the cooling, the upwelling, whatever it is that actually caused that cooling, really changed the dynamics of the race, changed the winds, changed the sea life we saw. So it's a full ecological experience when you get out there, and it's lovely. And then, of course, coming here, you're sailing 2,300 miles or so plus, and then you finally see a piece of land, and when you see it, you've got Diamond Head. And I've climbed Diamond Head, a dozen times, and I love the fact that you can recognize it from the water. It's a lot of fun to be. I'm staying at the Moana Surf Rider. You turn the corner, you can see the Moana Surf Rider. You can see the Pink Lady. Everything's good here in Hawaii.
Do you folks, do you have questions for John?
Yeah, I got a quick question. What do you guys, there's 12 of you. I assume you're working around the clock.
17.
17.
Crew on the boat? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
And what do you guys eat? Okay, what is this, freeze-dried food? What do you guys...
It is freeze-dried food and cups of noodles. We had, unfortunately, on this trip, well, it's nice at the beginning, but we had an inordinate amount of beef jerky on the boat. So,
high protein,
yeah.
low weight, right?
Yeah, and we had all kinds of protein bars in addition to all that. So a lot of protein on that boat. So
and freeze-dried and just
freeze-dried, and then cups of noodles, and then for the first 3 days we actually brought a tremendous amount of apples and oranges and stuff like that, and so that was the most popular thing.
Sure.
And that goes away first, but and you certainly miss it when it's gone. So,
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get tired. I'm sure you get tired of eating jerky.
But I will say this, the freeze-dry is getting better. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's come a long way, baby.